All right, class, before we dive in, here's what I need. I need 2 volunteers, one who's not afraid of the dark. Everybody's afraid of the dark here. Holy smokes. Clay, not afraid of the dark, love it. Who is great at giving directions?
Oh,
Julie, got it. So, Clay, Julie and Clay. Clay, you're not afraid of the dark. Here's what I want you to do. Blindfold yourself. Julie, here's what you're going to do. You're going to hand him, no, you're not going to hand him anything.
Okay.
Not right now. He has to put together this puzzle that's ages 2 and up. Can you see, Clay?
No.
Good. All right, it's all dark. You are going to give him directions on putting that puzzle together. All right.
Oh, wait. He needs to not have to hold it himself.
Travis, can you hold? Perfect.
He needs to be
Love it.
tied.
No, that's fine. He can hold it. Julie, here's the directions you're going to give him. Absolutely nothing. You're just going to say random words, and he's going to put this random words. You're a middle schooler, you can come up with random words. Clay, go ahead. Start putting that puzzle.
Just random words.
Random words.
Goat, cow, cupboard, fridge, computer, cup, cord.
Clay, you're supposed to put the puzzle together.
Oh.
Julie, continue
Sign,
with the random
light.
words.
Vase, flower, scarf,
Am I on the,
Glasses.
on the board?
Julie, is he on the board? Random word,
You're
please.
supposed to be on the board.
There we go. That's random.
Tree, pop can, ring.
All right, Julie, I'm going to
arm.
pause you there. I'm going to have you start giving him a direction. What does he have there?
Okay, time out. Stop. Put everything down. Okay, take your right hand and touch the, I believe this is a dog. It's a yellow dog.
He doesn't
Okay.
know what color it is. Doesn't matter.
Okay, put it in your left hand and put it down to the left a little bit farther. Continue. Keep going to the right there. Now fit it in that hole right there. There you go.
All right, Clay,
Okay.
go ahead. Take up the thing. Was that hard to do
No.
when she gave you directions?
Right.
Was it really hard when she wasn't giving you directions?
Yes.
Was it kind of annoying?
It was hard.
Super annoying. So, as a class, let's discuss this. What do you think made that really hard? I named a couple things there. Random noises, just being blindfolded. What else made it hard for him to not accomplish a 2-and-up puzzle? Go ahead. This is your chance to play. Distractions. Absolutely.
Not being able to see what direction the puzzle pieces are.
Absolutely. Clay, have you ever done that puzzle?
No.
Do you think that might have made it even harder?
Yes.
What do you think could have made it a little bit easier?
If you've done the puzzle before.
Or if I could see.
Done the puzzle before? If you could see, how about Julie's health? Do you think that could have,
With her direction.
With her directions.
That helped.
you bet. Well, today we're going to focus on one word, and this is one of our character traits here at the school, one of our pillar traits, and it's cooperation. How many of you know what cooperation is? How many have ever heard of cooperation? How many of you have ever experienced cooperation? How about really bad cooperation? Right there, we just saw it. That was the worst cooperation I've ever seen. Julie's just blurting out random words. Clay is blindfolded and not knowing what to do. So we saw some terrible cooperation. Right now, I'm going to define cooperation, and by the end of today, you will be able to recognize real-life situations where you can practice and use cooperation. So the first one is, the definition of cooperation is to work with others for the good of all involved with a positive attitude. To be a team player by doing my best and to support others to do their best. Again, I'm going to read it straight off. This is what our school has. It says to take turns, share, and pay attention. To work with others for the good of all involved with a positive attitude. To be a team player by doing my best and to support others to do their best. Do we need to add anything to cooperation? Or is that a pretty good definition?
Teamwork?
Teamwork. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. Teamwork, being a good team player. Anything else? Not to criticize. Absolutely. Because sometimes cooperation can be bad when we're just criticizing. You're terrible. And that goes back into that having that positive attitude.
Patience.
Praise and patience. I absolutely agree. I think patience, we can tie that into taking turns and sharing. You said praise. I would say to work with all the good involved with a positive attitude by a team player. I think praise, patience, all those things you all named are great things. And do you think if we would have used that pillar of character for this, would have that made it easier for you?
Yes.
Do you think later on we could probably accomplish this task?
Yes.
I'm just gonna take this away because you guys are easily distracted by cute little kittens. So, cooperation, it's a very important trait to have, and it's gonna make us better as people, as humans. I'm gonna just kind of break down this definition that way. By the end of today, you're gonna be able to use this in life. So, taking turns, sharing and paying attention. I had a daughter, she's 2 years old. She is the worst sharer ever. As soon as another child comes in, typically her cousin, she's already saying mine, mine. She doesn't know how to take turns. Part of it, she doesn't have the patience. But when we take turns, share and pay attention, we're going to recognize other people's needs before ours. We're going to start to see, oh, this person doesn't have this. Maybe I can give them a little bit. And that's paying attention. And then to work for the others, to work with others for the good of all involved with a positive attitude. If Julie and Clay were working together for this common goal of putting a simple puzzle together, they would have been able to do it really quick. The blindfold made it a little bit harder because you were above this age level of activities, but it's not that hard to do. To be a team player by doing my best, I'm going to stop it there. We have to be accountable for ourselves in cooperation. If we're showing up to a team or we're showing up to an activity or we're showing up to class, we have to do our very best to give them, the teacher, their best. Because when we're using our best, others around us are going to start doing their best too. They're going to pick up on that saying, wow, they're actually really good at this. Why are they so good? Oh, they're trying hard. They're actually working towards something. And then while you're doing that, it adds right on in. And to support others to do their best. That's the praise. I loved how you talked about that. Julie was like, Clay, you're doing a great job. You got the one in your hand. You're almost there. Just move it a little bit more. You got it. Great job. Just grab the next piece right on by your hand. I'll get you the next one. That would have been so much easier than those random words. And Julie was doing her best to just continue random words. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to show you a quick little video. This one is pretty random, but I want you to be thinking about a couple things in this video. It's silly, it's actually a commercial, but it goes really well with cooperation. And I'm gonna ask a couple questions after this of how we can apply this video to our real life. Because these are animals and we're not animals, but we might experience something similar to this metaphorically. So you have to use your critical and creative thinking on this video. Can you guys all see it? Fantastic. Here we go.
Oh, jeez. All right, pretty clever. They work together for a common goal. Let's first stop and talk about that, the first one we saw, the iceberg. What was that one about? We had penguins on an iceberg. What was circling them?
The shark.
The shark, right? Shark was circling.
Yeah.
What did they all realize that they had to do?
They all need to work together to the other side.
Hmm?
The shark.
They tilt the iceberg.
Tilt the iceberg.
Run into the iceberg instead of them.
Do you think if one of them decided not to participate in that they'd still be safe?
One be-
Maybe
Well,
one.
one, I would think one.
Yeah.
And I think we've all been in a situation where maybe we're in a class together and there's that one person that's kind of hindering the class. But everybody else is still fine. What about two?
And it's questionable.
Yeah.
Questionable, it's starting to get a little iffy. What about three?
Yeah, it's like-
It's definitely gonna be iffy.
What if every single one of them wanted to go their own way?
They would have all drowned.
Why not? They would have all drowned, right?
Right.
Not necessarily drowned, they probably would have been eaten or drowned, or maybe the killer whale would have been full and they would have been fine, but then they wouldn't have had any friends. So cooperation, did they have it?
No. They
They
did.
did, absolutely. All right, let's go to this next one. Where's my, there we go. Travis, you might not be able to see. Sorry about that. It's not really cooperation. All right, the ants, right?
Awesome.
What, I want you to think about this before we get going. I want you to, there's one aspect of the definition of the pillar of character of cooperation, and I want you to think what that is. I'm going to read that definition again. I know you guys all have it memorized probably. To take turns, share, and pay attention. To work with others for the good of all involved with a positive attitude. To be a team player by doing my best and to support others to do their best. All right. Got it? You want me to read it again?
No.
All good? Good. All right. Let's check it out. I love their laughs. I think it's hilarious. They're like, hey. All right. So I'm going to read the definition one more time. You got that ant thing going. To take turns, share, pay attention, to work with others for the good of all involved with a positive attitude. To be a team player by doing my best and support others to do their best. Nancy, I'm going to call on you. What part of those ants did they do in this definition? What do you think they did?
They look out for the good of all of them.
They looked out for all of them. Yeah, it wasn't just the one, because they knew if one would have got sucked up, the other one. Jamie, teamwork. They all worked together to form this huge ball, right? Julie,
They listened to others because they had a leader that they respected and cooperated with.
that's right. So they supported others, they listened, they kind of took turns of where to go, right? Clay,
I thought it was cool that some of them said, hey, get on my back, and we'll do this together.
right? So they worked together, all involved.
Sacrifice themselves for the rest of the
You
group.
bet. Trap,
Pay attention. The one
pay
leader-
attention. That is the one point I was really looking for there, because everything about cooperation, working together, that's so important. But that first part, pay attention. They noticed that need, that ant was in trouble and was going to get eaten or whatever anteaters do with it. All right, this next one, I want you to think about real life situations, because guaranteed us in life, we're not going to be getting seagulled unless we're at a beach and they poop on us. And that's disappointing, or getting pinched by crabs. But think of a real life situation that maybe you could connect with this, that happened in your life. And if you can't think of something, I might be able to come up with some type of scenario that maybe happened last week to all of us. So, here we go. Seagulls flying. So, give you about 30 seconds of kind of wait time or thinking time to think of something in your life that maybe you can connect a seagull going down to get a crab. Anybody have something? All right, I'm going to give you a little hint. That crab, was that the biggest crab of the group or the smallest one?
Smallest one.
Smallest one. And a bird was coming to pick on what?
The little one.
The little one. That's right. How many of you have seen that in school? Somebody getting picked on. because they're different, or they stand out, or they're an easier target. But what happened with everybody else?
They all backed them up.
No, back them up. They had that cooperation. They paid attention, saying, whoa, that's not right. And last week we had a situation where one of us was getting picked on, and that wasn't fun. And then some of us stood up and was like, hey, no, that's not cool. But then there's times where we all gather up and we do the picking on too. And that's not going to work. So, bullying is the exact opposite of cooperation. That's not going to work. So that's one of your real life examples that you should be able to walk away with of like, I can use cooperation by paying attention to somebody else. I can use cooperation to be the best one in the class, to support others, like the ant, right? So, we're going back to the activity, being blindfolded. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to time us. Who wants to be, are you cool? Partnered up, and Travis, you and I partnered up? Sure. Fantastic. All right, Jamie and Nancy, I'm going to give you the flower, butterfly ones there. Jamie, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be timing Nancy, or you're going to be directing Nancy on where to go. Or would it be easier if Jamie did it because of the glasses? That would help. All right, I ran out of blindfolds. I did not wash enough this weekend. So, can I trust you to have your eyes closed? We're not going to time first. We're going to race. Okay? All right.
We have more.
You have more. That's paying attention.
2, 4, 6.
Are we having a positive attitude here, Julie?
No.
All right. Let's get back to a positive attitude. Here's what I know. I know you can do this task ahead of you. Okay?
We have 6 to do.
6 to do. How many do they have?
6.
They have 6?
They just pulled the 2 out.
Oh, perfect. Good. I'm fine with that. Pull the 2 out. Hey, we're going to be even.
A race is.
A race is better.
Yes.
All right. Eyes closed.
Are we giving her tips?
Giving tips. Absolutely. On your mark. It's a go.
Pick up your first one and I'll tell
Right
you
there.
what to do.
Turn it
Okay,
around.
and then
Right
right
at the bottom.
straight down.
No,
Move the other ones out of your
right there. No,
There you go.
turn it upside down. There you go. Okay.
To the left,
Pick that one,
there.
that big one. Okay, go
Travis,
up
while
towards
we're doing that, I
right,
want you
top
and I to
corner.
be paying
And
attention
Turn it around.
to what they could do next
No,
time
not
around.
too far.
Up,
Turn it back away.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. Really good. Just put there. Okay.
Then to the right.
Right there. Perfect. Okay. Up towards the top, middle. Yeah. Down, down. Yeah.
There.
Turn. Now right there. Now pull over. You got it.
Right, down,
Oh, you missed that one. Okay. Yep. Bottom right corner. Down here. Turn it. Oh, turn. Yep.
Up.
Time. Julie, Travis, I asked him, I don't know if the video heard that or you guys heard it. I said, Travis, I want you to be paying attention to what these two are doing and give them tips. What did you notice about Julie and Clay? They were the first ones to get done. Besides that, what did you notice?
I noticed they're giving pretty good directions as far as where to go,
Yep.
moving up and down, spinning,
Right.
like that.
Right.
I was trying to.
Did you notice, obviously they weren't taking turns, they weren't sharing. Clay was paying attention. Jamie it was paying attention what Nancy was doing. Were they working together?
They were.
Did they both have positive attitudes?
Seemed to be.
Seem to be. Julie, would you say Clay had a
Yes,
positive attitude?
he was
Jamie?
calm.
Yes.
Or Nancy, was Jamie positive with you? Was she saying you're terrible at this? Don't be sniffing the flower? Positive attitudes. Perfect. Team players. I'm going to have you rate Clay on how he was being a team player for you, being you were blindfolded.
I feel like you did great. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
She's definitely 10 out of 10. I felt like I wasn't thinking good enough direction.
Hey, guess what? That's all right. That's what things we can do. We can pay attention to what we've been doing. Silly game.
She got more done than she would have if she didn't have her helping.
Guaranteed. Love that. Positive attitude. Here's what I'm going to do. We're running out of time here, so we're going to do our exit tickets. You guys know what we usually do for exit ticket. I'm going to remind you all. Write down what you've learned today. What is one way you can show cooperation today? Give me a real life example. And if you use the example from here, that'd be incredible. I'm going to give us a minute and a half left on this. And you know my standard here.
I need a different pen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy, that wasn't good of me. Here you go.
Mr. Radke, should we put our names on these?
Yes, please. Perfect. And you know that sound, so when we got the final countdown playing, so when you're set to go, you are good to go. Clay, thanks for writing this down. Perfect. Julie, that one's great. Love it. You're free to go when you're done. Okay.